Thank you for joining us, everyone, and for spending your evening with us. On this occasion of World Food Day, we thought it would be great to talk about food in general and how it impacts the region, but also specifically connect that to women's leadership. Women's perspective and voices are crucial for addressing the multifaceted problems that we're facing today, especially those connected to persistent food security in the region. Oftentimes, women are the ones who are participating in the process, but they are excluded from the conversations that impact them or the region at large. With the Women's Leadership Academy of this year in collaboration with YSEALI, one of our intentions was to support these women who are working in addressing the challenges with regards to food security by equipping them, providing them with tools to build their capacity to be able to address these challenges better. Our program at the Women's Leadership Academy is twofold. We focus on providing a theoretical understanding of how to address these challenges, but we also have included an action learning component to it, where we try to create an environment where our participants are able to apply some of those learnings to solutions at hand and create some kind of innovations that enable them to work with the communities and understand the problems in depth. That was one of the intentions behind these seed grant projects as well, where we gave a little bit of grant money to 4 projects to be able to create innovative solutions, to be able to understand how to better support the communities, and to be able to understand how we can change the dialogue and the narrative around food security within the region. With that, I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Stevens, who is joining us and is part of the team at the U.S. Mission to ASEAN to share a few words about food security within the region. Over to you, Mr. Stevens.
Thank you, Sarah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on food security in ASEAN. My name is Ad Stevens. It's easy to remember. It's like subtract, but better. It's like multiply, but easier. Ad Stevens. I am our newly arrived officer in charge of press, media, outreach, and education at the U.S. Mission to ASEAN. I hope to be able to meet many of you and work with you over the next 3 years that I'll be here in this position and work together on some of the wonderful projects that you all are doing to provide meaningful results for the people in this region. Food security, of course, is not just about having enough food. It's also about ensuring that the food we have is safe, nutritious, and accessible, regardless of the foreseeable and unforeseeable challenges we may face. Women play a crucial role in tackling these challenges. From farmers and entrepreneurs to policymakers and community leaders, women are at the forefront of creating solutions that enhance food security. Today, we will explore how we can empower women to continue leading in this space, fostering collaboration, innovation, and sustainability across the region. 4 projects that won small funding from the 2024 YSEALI Women's Leadership Academy will present tonight and share with us their experiences, challenges, and strategies for building a more food-secure future for all of us. Serendipitously, today is also World Food Day. Some things you and I can do right now to make a difference, however small, in our communities include supporting local farmers, raising awareness through social media, reducing food waste in our homes, promoting healthy eating, and donating to food banks. Remember, even a little bit is infinitely better than nothing. With that, I turn the time back over to the WEDU team for what promises to be an engaging and insightful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stevens, for those lovely words. I will now kickstart just hand it over to our project teams to share more about their experience working on creating some of these solutions, working with the communities as well, and just the last few months that they've spent in understanding some of the challenges and how to address them when it comes to food security in the regions. To kick things off, I would like to invite our first group, Mushagana, Bountiful Harvests, Empowering the Women and the Youth. The project worked to distribute oyster mushroom fruitage bags to sugarcane farmers in the Philippines. One of their intentions was to diversify income for the farmers and also to address the vulnerabilities that they face, given the ongoing climate change as well. Over to you, Juan.
Hello everyone. You can see now my presentation?
Yes, we can.
All right. So hello, and in behalf of my team from Mushagana, I am Von Galvan, and I will be presenting to you, and we are happy to share with you all our project entitled Mushagana Bountiful Harvest Empowering the Women and Youth. Mushagana is derived from two words, mushroom and agana, from a Filipino word masagana, which means bountiful, hence its name. So this is the passionate and work-driven women of Team Mushagana with our project mentor, Ms. Sonia Gonzalez from Agraya. So for our short backgrounds, so last April 2024, we were awarded for the seed grant of the YSEALI We Do WLA program. And we proposed this project Mushagana. And right after that, we conducted community needs assessment, specifically the focus group discussions into associations at La Carlota City, Negros Occidental, my hometown. And we choose the Hacienda Salamanca at Barangay San Miguel, La Carlota City, Negros Occidental, Philippines. So this project aims to address food security and agricultural challenges, especially in sugarcane industry, because our province is also known as the sugarcane bowl of the Philippines. And this oyster mushroom project aims to integrate this crop into their sugarcane plantation. Now, why mushroom? Well, first and foremost, I love mushroom. It is my favorite food. And aside from that, mushroom is, for me, as a licensed agriculturist, it is a versatile crop. It uses less labor, less capital, also less space, and you don't need to apply fertilizer. And the use spent mushroom substrate can also be used as an organic fertilizer back to the soil. So you are just producing food from agricultural waste also, and then its waste can produce more food later on and also making the soil healthy. So about our beneficiaries, our beneficiaries at Hacienda Salamanca, most of them are relying practicing monocropping of sugarcane for 20 years. So it is their main crop and main source of income. Based on our needs assessment, on our focus group discussion, they also lack financial planning and farm records. They are also organized agrarian reform beneficiaries last 2018, but because of COVID, they were inactive. And majority of them are first-time mushroom growers, and they never attended any trainings or seminars related to farming until our intervention. So in our project, we had a grant of $750, or in peso, that's around 43,000 pesos. So in that small grant, we conducted one-day training on oyster mushroom production, value adding, and record keeping. We also distributed 1,200 mushroom bags. We also published our articles based on our success story. And we provide monthly regular technical assistance and monitoring, especially on the record keeping part. Because for them, that is the hardest part, because they don't record their produce and record their expenses. So we came up with the simplest form of record keeping, and until now, they're still doing it. So for our project highlights, so for the period of 3 months for the project implementation, last September, we had our evaluation with them, and they said that 95% of the participants rated outstanding for our training. That is their first training attended. And 86% said that oyster mushroom helps to secure food in their household. Now, this is very nice because some mushroom or the fresh oyster mushroom that are not passed with their quality were just given for free for their community members. So that's free food. And also, 86% saw or experienced the participation of youth and women in this project. 11 out of 19 members were participated, and 100% are happy with the effects of the project. And we also reached 195 readers across Southeast Asia with our articles. Now, this is the most interesting part, the next slide, because this is by its number. So with the amount of 43,000 pesos, the association had gross income of 54,695, and we have a return of investment of 146.7%. The net income that they're having right now is their their savings now with their association. Guys, this I am so happy also to share that this is their first project ever with the intervention of someone, private or government organization. That's why this is their baby project, and they are so happy with their net income. And earlier, I visited them, and they are still harvesting. They are still selling their mushrooms. So this number is actually outdated because this was last September, during our last evaluation. So until now, they're still harvesting mushroom. I guess that's until December or maybe next year. So, and also because of this, they are planning to produce more mushrooms by buying more mushroom fruiting bags. And our organization at University of the Philippines, Los Baños, which we collaborated, committed to provide additional training for them for producing their own mushroom fruiting bags to make this project more sustainable. And for the project highlights, the expenses earlier were actually given to their members also. 200 pesos daily were given to two women workers for the maintenance of the mushrooms. And the women here are were the resellers of the mushroom also. So they're also gaining money like 10 to 20 pesos per pack. The culture of sugarcane farmers in this community is like, because they're sugarcane farmers, the buyers are already waiting for them because we have a lot of sugarcane central mills. And this selling of mushroom is new to them, but as you can see, they are passionate with them. They are very active and they sell their mushroom. Now they're also learning how to market the produce. And I think this is one of the most important things that the farmers here in the Philippines or maybe in the other countries also should learn how to market the produce so that no traders or middlemen will interrupt with the production flow or the value with the process. And also because of their income, they renovated their office. I have later on the before and after pictures. And they also constructed their growing house that can accommodate 2,000 pieces of bags. And also they bought their materials such as the weighing scale, the water sprayer, the net, and all others. You know, they were very happy. After a month, I went there for a monitoring, and they're happy and proud to say that, look, Miss Bon, we now have a weighing scale. Just a small weighing scale, but they are so happy that they're having that, assets because of their income. And also this oyster mushroom, just like I've said earlier, it provided them free food. Especially they experience drought and also they experience seasonal labor. So even though they don't have work or income, they still have food because of our oyster mushroom project. And this is the before and after. So you can see here the first picture on my left. This is our first meeting with them. The roof, there are a lot of holes, but now it renovated. It became bigger so they said that it can accommodate a lot of guests in the future. And also they use local materials in making this one. And in our mushroom growing house is just before it was an empty room, an empty storage. Now they made it bigger, and also they put nets around it to prevent pests from entering so that their oyster mushroom are fresh and also clean. So also we face challenges, especially the budget. I guess a lot of groups will agree also with this one. But what we did was we like little flexibility with the project, and also we collaborated with my organization and other organizations as well. And also we have a lack of comprehensive market survey, and I think that's really important before anything else. And also farmers adoption, especially on the marketing side, and it is very challenging. But as we go along the way, we have still monthly monitoring with them, and also we have communication even in our phones. So what we learn in this ones is we gain understanding under life, and also we learned that farmers are more committed with their projects if they are involved in planning and decision making process. We are just facilitators. Most of the things that they want to do, like renovation of their project, buying this and that, or from them. We're just giving them or having them improve suggestions. And also we are flexible. We adjust our time frame, our budget, and everything. And also we appreciate the collaborative effort of our mentor and also our sisters in Southeast Asia, especially in Team Mushagana, in helping this one. And of course the relationship we built with the community. So, and earlier I also visited them and I told them that I will be presenting this project. Unfortunately, they can't attend because of the low signal, internet signal in that area. But but Mr. Jonathan Mendoza, the chairperson, said that he is very happy and lucky and blessed that we choose their organization because this is the first project that they had for how many years that they start building their organization. And after we went there, the local city of La Carlota provided them additional cash, just like a small grant, and they made it, they constructed a mini grocery store. They now sell their own produce, like rice and other vegetables in their backyard and household necessities. And they have upcoming project on native chicken. And also their farm to market road is being planned. So there from a small seed grant. Now, it has a really big impact in the community with a span of 3 months. And that's all from Team Mushagana. Thank you so much. Madam, magid nga salamat.
Thank you, Juan. I'll open the floor to anyone who has questions from you and your team. Please feel free to come off mute and ask any questions that you may have. If you're also comfortable, you can drop them in chat and we will share them with the team.
So hi, Vaughn. Hi everyone. Maybe I have a question for Vaughn. First of all, like congratulate on a very kind of I think that is a big achievement for not only for you, for yourself, but for the whole team as well. And you create a very impactful things for the community as well. But I know that like everyone in the team from a different country. So during the time that you work together to implement the project, what is kind of the biggest issues in your own team?
Oh, this is really nice question, Helen. And hello, by the way, I missed you, girl. And for my team, I guess the time difference, and also we have a lot of work obligations in our office. We had hard time adjusting our schedule to make it through with our meetings. And sometimes, yes, not all of our members are present during our meetings, but they are also cooperative in our group chats. And what I did was just to um they open up suggestions in our group chat and then make the reports, and then if they have something to edit or comments or suggestions, then I let them be. I open the Google Docs for them to share. And also Miss Sonia is there and she is very helpful throughout this project.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Do we have any other questions?
Yes, I want to ask the question.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the knowledge, Miss. I want to ask about how do you found your first community or first environment that you want to build the oyster? Because I still looking for the things for the environment that I want to be help for the farmer like that. Thank you.
The environment for the oyster mushroom, the community that we had.
Yeah, the place that you want to help the farmers grow up.
Okay. So what we did was we went to the city agriculture office and asked them. We had a little meeting if based on the request that they've received, what are the associations that are willing to integrate or to diversify their farm. And then we came up with two associations, and we went there and we monitor the fields, the area, and then we conduct community needs assessment. So that's what we do. And we make sure that the environment is really suitable with the oyster mushroom, and it is clean, it is warm also, and such other things.
So you found it by your community to find which area or which field that farmer need to be upgrade with.
I'm sorry, pardon, please.
So you found the farmer who has a lack of knowledge and you help them with your community.
Yes. So they don't have the basic knowledge of producing mushroom, but they are familiar with mushroom since it's just growing around the area as well. That is one of our indicators. So when we asked them if there are other wild mushrooms that are growing, and they said yes, then we know that this area is suitable also for mushroom production. So because oyster mushroom is just easy to take care of for its maintenance. You will just open the bags and you'll just spray some little bit of water, and it will just grow. So it is just, the labor compared to sugarcane farming, I guess it's much lesser, and it's much more comfortable to them, especially to the women.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
Thank you, Juan, and thank you, team. Moving on, we will be discussing the next challenge. ASEAN faces a crisis as decreasing agricultural involvement leads to reduced local food production, which also leads to increased non-communicable diseases amongst children. Our next team, Nourished Mind, Healthy Future, they created engaging storybooks to educate children about healthy eating and also to understand better about local agriculture and food security in the region. Over to you, team.
Hello, good evening from Malaysia. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for hosting the session again. June, from my team, could you please flash the slide for us? Okay, thanks, June. So once again, good evening, everyone. Thanks, Vaughn, for your very exciting presentation earlier. We really love your presentation since day one in Manila. So yeah, hi, happy to see everyone here again after almost, I think, half a year, right? I think if you guys remember during our presentation in Manila, we said that this book could be dedicated to one of our best friends, Meryl, in the team, right? During yeah. So I think on behalf of my team, we are almost there. I hope we make it real. After I think we left one last milestone here, lah, right? So let me just walk you through what we have been doing so far within the 6 months, and maybe just give you some snapshot on the 6 stories, the pocket stories that we have proposed earlier. So our team, we named 6 of us as Guardians of Future Food, GFF. These are 6 of us taking the picture during our closing ceremony, if you guys remember, right? Our group team, Nourish Mind, Healthy Future, we have this book. And it's quite challenging. What I heard from Vaughn, your challenges are almost reflective of in our group. But well, we did it thanks to the support from the team, and thanks to the support from YSEALI and also Sarah. We did it, and let me just walk you through what we have done. So let me just walk you through a little bit of the background and what are the goals that we have been aiming to achieve. Next slide, please, June. Okay, so a little bit of background, just a refresher. I think all of you still remember what we proposed the other day because it was quite funny. Six of us wanted to produce a book, a children book, that is made out of a collaborative effort between six of us from Indonesia, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, and Timor-Leste. We wanted to address NCDs among children, and after rounds and rounds of discussion, consultation with the experts, and some of the nutritionists, and also publisher, we think that the book could be best suit children between 8 to 10 years old, and that also affects how we articulate the stories, how we pen our stories, and even how we want to choose the font size, font styles. Everything is the nitty-gritty there is all aim to cater the children between the targeted group age. So in our stories, it is a wide range. Apart from NCDs, we also wanted to educate or wanted to advocate for what is food security. So I think earlier in our session today, I think Stephen, you rightfully mentioned that food security, it's not only having sufficient food on the table, but we also need nutritious food. We also need safe food, right? We need a range of multi-dimensional optics to look at food security. So in our project, we tried to strive the objective of hitting what food security is, apart from having nutritious food, and through some other practices like sustainable farming and promoting healthier diet for our children. Next slide, please, June. So these are the objectives that we pitched during our proposal, and I think through the process and along the way that we crafted the stories, we sort of answers all the questions. Among them are to empower children with the knowledge about food security, but we also aware that food security itself, it's a very high level word for children at the age of 8 to 10, right? Primary school, elementary school age. So we try to articulate the stories by relaying some of the messages through the stories, through storytelling method. So we also aim to teach them the importance of having nutritious food such as vegetables, fruits, instead of junk food like potato chips and sodas. And also we want to equip our children with the knowledge and skills to make healthy diet closer at the age of elementary school level. So to address the root causes of NCDs like obesity, diabetes, iron deficiency. So just to give you a context, in each of our stories, we actually aim to bring out the issues of one NCD. So say, for example, for Thailand, through the stories from June, the one who is flashing the slide now, she's trying to address iron deficiency through her story. And from me, from Malaysia, I'm trying to address the issue of obesity, because Malaysia is one of the top 3 nations in Southeast Asia that have high obesity rate among children. So these are the objectives that we try to strive. And last but not least, we try to encourage overall health and well-being among children by promoting physical health, because not only that we encourage them to go for healthy diets, but we also encourage them to go out for physical activities and more healthy healthy lifestyle. Sorry. So we try to link between diet, food, and also lifestyle. So it's a multi-dimensional messages there. Next slide, please. So in view of that, we try to achieve some of the goals from our stories and our projects. So these are 4 of the compressed goals that we try to show to everyone here. Number 1, content development and cultural sensitivity. I think all of us agree that it's quite challenging, but it's very interesting to work with different team members from different culture. Especially, this is a wonderful part of us being in Southeast Asia. So we actually create these stories with the idea close in heart that we want to make sure that our content, our stories is near to the culture diversity within ASEAN. So in terms of the choice of word, in terms of the language, in terms of the even the cover artist, I spoke to him. I said, let's do some of the choice of character that is near to Southeast Asia, right, near to ASEAN kids. So these are all the nitty-gritties and bolts and nuts that we take into consideration to address the cultural sensitivity across ASEAN countries. And another goal is we try to engage and make sure that the illustration, the designs, like I mentioned earlier, is as near to the culture in ASEAN and is near to the goal and theme of YSEALI and we do a program here. And number three, we also try to make sure that our stories, since we are coming from different background, ranging from Malaysia up to Timor-Leste, we try to make sure that each story comes out with two different languages. So say, for example, taking from my own country, I'm doing it in English, and in each of the page of my story, I have Malay language in my story chapter. So same goes to all my friends. We all have bilingual format in our story. And last but not least, I think this is not surprising. We try to make sure that our project hit the educational impacts through a very simple yet meaningful manner to our children. Next slide, please, June. Okay, so just to give everyone a glance, I think this is almost quite similar to everyone here. Since we got the chance to have this seed grant, we kick off our project activity by having rounds and rounds of revision of proposal. Thanks to Sarah and the team for giving your comments and guidance. So we work our project. Sorry, yeah. So our activity started with a workshop with Ruth, a publisher, right, Meryl, a publisher from Philippines. I think that was a very extensive session, a virtual session we had, 3 hours, I think, 3 hours. So Ruth she brought us through how we want to publish a book because she had a very extensive experience in publishing books, especially for children book. So just to give everyone context, publishing a children book is definitely different from what I have envisioned before this, even though I myself is as an author, right? So Ruth has taught us a lot of knowledge on what should be done. Say, for example, the layout, the choice of font. Let's say we shouldn't use Times New Roman, we should use Indica, say for example, like that. And what are the materials that we should use, how big the size of the font that we should use to capture the attention of children, and so on. So these are the things that we discussed during the workshop. And then moving on to the next few months, we finalized our draft report, those administrative requirements we fulfilled. And then at the same time, we also had the chance to engage with Manisa. She is a huge support for us since day one. She's a nutrition expert. She gave us a lot of input, and because we created a Google Drive, like Vaughn, your team, right? We created a Google Drive, and then Manisa and Ruth, they had the access to our report, no, our stories, and they actually put out very detailed comments for each of us. So what we did was we revised rounds and rounds, each of us, and then until today, the finalized version. And the following month, after we had our manuscript, it runs concurrently. We look for illustrator. I think some of you had noticed in our social media. It was definitely very hard for us to find illustrator because illustration requires cost and also time. But we were very fortunate. We were very lucky. We got 6 beautiful and talented, wonderful illustrator who were willing to work for us and support this project through a pro bono basis. And of course, the cover artist, who happens to be my brother, he also did it for a pro bono basis. So we are really lucky. Of course, on top of that, we 6 of us has we have poured in our stories and ideas into it. But without this illustrator, I think this children book wouldn't come into a realization. And then in August, we started to finalize everything, to and forth, and also now it's October, right? And yeah, now we started to promote in Instagram and Facebook. So from time to time, we up our promotion and also content. One is to promote the book. Two is to promote NCDs to children, to a wider group of audience. So quite long, right? Okay, next slide, please, June. Okay, so this is just a recap from what I said. So we have completed 80% of the activities, and moving on, we are going to distribute our book to 3 different institutions in the Philippines. So because we have a very limited budget due from the seed grants, right? So we try to optimize the grant by distributing to the 3 institutions in Philippines for this stage. But I think 6 of us also envision that this is quite a meaningful product from us, very collaborative effort from all of us, and we actually thinking of how we should expand this effort to a wider group with more budgets. So this is something that we all have in at the back of our mind, and we are trying to keep discussing about, brainstorming about this. So after the book distribution, we think this manuscript ought to be continued to be, maybe we try to seek for a publisher to publish this book and so on, because right now it's entirely self-funded. And next slide, please. All right, so this is just some of the give you some of the gist of what we have done. On the left, on the left is the virtual session that I mentioned earlier. We had the chance to speak to Ruth, the very experienced publisher in Philippines. And on the right is a mentorship with Manisha. She had taught us how to address NCDs in a very layman and children-friendly format. Next slide. Okay, so these are all the snippets on our stories. So our stories is, I think, 170 pages in total. Each of us, we divided, like Dita, she has a allocation of 16 pages for her stories on Rose's nutritional adventure, and same goes to each of us in the group. So we allocated our stories, including our illustration. So stories plus illustration, all in all, we have like 16 pages of each story. So we allocated in that way lah. And then, yeah, we have Meryl's and June's and also Esau's stories here. Okay, next slide, please. So when it comes to impact challenges and key learnings, I think the impacts, I think I had mentioned earlier in my earlier presentation, it is not surprising that we really want to impose, or we want to foster a very deep understanding for our children, not only on food security, but also how we want to convey the message of we need to have nutritious food on the table, right? So like I say, we want to educate our children. Food is not only availability, right? We also want to see how we want to be accessible to food, affordable food, and also nutritious food, which is under the dimension of utilization. So these are all the things that we try to address through our stories. And also we try to encourage positive dietary choices, and we try to link, like, if you eat more junk food, you are going to be a very very fat child, and what are the consequences after that. So, and last but not least, we also seek to encourage community engagement among the children through activities in our stories. Next slide, please. So the impact, again, is a capacity building and collaboration among 6 of us. And I think we also have some external stakeholders that we have built out rapport with, like some of the experts, some of the publishers, some of the printers, and there are many other illustrators and stakeholders that we have been dealing with throughout these 6 months. And not forgetting the initial or the main theme of our program, which is to empower women leadership. That's why all of us here, I think most of us here are women, right? I think we achieved the objective of being an empowered, a group of empowered women. And I think with all of us here, I think all of us presented a very good leadership. I think out of four groups here are all wonderful women with wonderful leadership, right? Next slide, please. All right. So challenges, I think I would like to echo what Vaughn has said. Challenges, I think is we are all working professionals. This is one of the internal challenges. But I would like to bring out another issues, which is the challenges of having some technical issues like Illustrator. That is really challenging for us because if you really look at the full version of our stories, thanks. If you really look at the full version of our stories, you might I'm not trying to boast, but you might be surprised how with the limited funding we could find illustrator to to produce artwork like this for us, because I actually went through the full version with my brother. My brother is quite an experienced illustrator, and out of his surprise he said that this is really an extremely good work from all of us, especially from his experience as a illustrator. He said that I wasn't expecting something like this when you told me you have a very limited budget. So I was happy, and I think I haven't had the time to share this with my team. I hope this is a good news for all of five of you. And six of them, the illustrators, are from different background. They are paid with very pro bono payment, and this is quite challenges for us because we try to persuade them, we try to get them on board with us. And yeah, I think again I said we are very lucky. So the rest are administrative challenges, I think quite similar to the other group of our friends here: budget, technical, and project management, because all of us are basically professional women here, right? So yeah, this is some of the examples of challenges that we face pertaining to our the nature of the project, which is a children book. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I think these are some of the learnings that not only us try to bring to the external audience, but six of us also learn a lot from this project within the short time frame. And collaboration is key, of course. I think it's same with other group. Despite that, we have a lot of challenges and limitation, but we try to strike a balance between internal stakeholder, me versus Meryl, me versus June, and also our team, six of us, versus the external stakeholders and experts. And then yeah, so basically these are the things that we learn, six of us learns, and yeah, we really grow a lot. Yeah. And also I think one of things that I would like to bring out also is we also try very hard to think how we want to go in line with how the way that we try to promote our book, because in the end of this project we also try to promote the book through ebook. So this is something that we also try to utilize and optimize the digital platform to ensure that we reach as many audience as we can, a wider pool of audience. Next slide, please, June. So this is one of the sneak peeks of the cover art that is produced, like I said, like from my brother. He is one of the cover artists working for at DC and Marvel and so on. The rest I don't know because I'm not into this industry. So he helped us out with pro bono basis again. So this is how he come up with the cover art with the instruction and the requirement from six of us. Yeah, so basically we try to bring out that these storybooks aims to reach out to children with healthy diets, with a very balanced lifestyle, with not only good brain, but you also have physical activities and so on. Next slide. Yeah, so we also try very hard to promote our our work on Instagram and Facebook. And then after this we also try to distribute our ebooks in maybe in PDF format. But if all of my friends here, if you have better ideas, feel free to suggest to us. I think it's better to have more ideas so that we can reach more children and targeted audience. So on the right side, it's some of the content that we created on Instagram, and on the left side is on Facebook. So thanks to some of you from the other groups, you have liked and shared our GFS group. I think that's the wonderful part of being in YSEALI program. And maybe June, you would like to show one of the videos in the Instagram page. Yeah, so this is basically our page. You can follow and you can share for us. and yeah, this is one of the page that we created for our projects. And it's still gonna be ongoing efforts from all of us. Yeah. So last slide. I would like to end my presentation, a very long one. We also aware that the impact of NCDs is not only affecting urban populations, right, but also rural areas. So when we do this project, just to give everyone a context, it's very mixed feelings. We not only want to fulfill the requirement of having the seed grant, but I think 6 of us has very big vision and ambition. On top of what Meryl, I mean, we try to make this a gift to Meryl's children, I think. Okay, joke aside. So yeah, this is some of the ambitions that six of us try to strive. And we also know that ASEAN has different issues when it comes to food security. We hope that from this book, we not only try to bring out the core messages, but we also try to address some of the other issues at the same time. So with that, on behalf of 5 of my great friends, thank you so much for listening to the long presentation. Last slide is 6 of us here. Thanks again. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Iris. I'm going to open the floor if anyone has any questions from the group about their experience or their learnings. Again, please feel free to drop your questions in chat, or if you'd like to come off mute and ask the team directly, we'd love to hear from you. Iris,
Yeah.
I believe one question in chat.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for the question. I think I open to my floor, my friends here. You can just chip in and answer the questions. Maybe you have different point of view from me. So sorry, which of the question? How much to produce one book? I will give this question to Meryl. She's our big boss here. Meryl, would you like to answer the question from our friend from Philippines?
Hello, everyone. So this is Meryl. Thank you, Iris. So for the production of the book, we have just asked for the quotation, and it's around $12 per book. That is already more than 110 all in all pages. So for the printing of the books, we will be printing with the fund given to us by YSEALI. We will be printing around 25 copies to be distributed to our 3 selected beneficiaries. Thank you.
Thank you, Meryl. Thank you, Iris. If anyone has any questions towards the end, please feel free to ask us or the project teams directly. Just keeping in mind the time, we are going to move on to the third group. So if we talk about traditional farming methods in ASEAN countries, they face a lot of inefficiency and vulnerability also because of environmental challenges and climate crisis that's worsening each day. This is also made worse by a lack of awareness about sustainable practices. We're going to hand over to our third team, Wisdom to Sustainable Agriculture, to share about their project on how they promoted sustainable agriculture and supported farmers across ASEAN region. Over to you, team.
Thank you, Sarah. So yeah, good afternoon or good evening for everyone, and welcome to our presentations on eco-media farming, an Asian regional project that connects rice farmers in Vietnam with the information they need to improve farming practices. So our goal is simple: to help rice farmers thrive by answering their questions and offering practical solutions through digital media platform or in person. Next slide, please, Helen. Yeah.
sorry.
So no worries. So yeah, this is our agendas. We have 4 key points that we will presenting to all of you. Next, please.
I'm sorry, did you see it?
Yes, sorry, I think the internet connection also not really good. So yeah, sorry. So yeah, this is our, so yeah, this is our themes. So we are dedicated teams working on eco-media farming project. We supporting rice farmers in Vietnam. So each of us playing a key roles in making this project successful. So first we have Helen Hang from Vietnam. So Helen leads our efforts in Vietnam and ensuring that farmers have access to the best practices and expert advice for sustainable rice farming. And then from Timor-Leste, it's me manage the project finance and keep tracking of expenses. And we have another one from Linh Hoa from Myanmar. So she's a graphic designer. So she helping us to create visuals for the project. And ASEAN for helping manage the reporting, and Shu to helping us manage the page admin for our social media. Next slide, please.
Oh, I did.
Okay. So farmers across Southeast Asia face serious challenges due to climate change. So such as a poor soil quality, crop disease, and falling yields. So many struggle to get the information they need to adapt their practices. So our group, the Ecomedia Farming Projects, we want to empower local and young farmers by providing them with their farming techniques and adjust the changing weather. So through digital platforms, we connect farmers in Vietnam with expert advice on sustainable farming. So our goals is simple, is to empower existing local farmers and potential young farmers with knowledge and also resources. Next slide, please.
Oh,
yeah, our eco-media farming, yeah. Yeah. So our eco-media farming project is revolves around 3 key activities. So first is provide farmers with access to expert advice through digital platforms. So these experts offer solutions on topics like soil management, pest control, and adapting to climate change. And the second one, we have a social media platform. So we use social media platform to share our farming tips, answer the questions, and connect farmers in Vietnam to making experts youth engagement. So we actively involve young farmers by giving them the tools and knowledge to improve their new generation of skills farmers. For the next slide, over to you, Ellen.
Hi everyone. So initially, like we focus on our original idea of providing the online consultations to the rice farmers. Like we think about the hotline and the social media, but however, like we quickly realized that this approach was ineffective. Like the farmer is very hesitant to trust the advice from the stranger, and especially for the new method they are unfamiliar with. So there we always have the question from them like, who's gonna take the responsibility if their crop failed? So So therefore, like we instead of online version, we decided to work directly with the farmers right on the field. So from the from planting to harvesting. So in total, we advised like 15 farmers on like cultivating nearly 100 hectares in Anzang province. And we also conduct a training section for 10 cooperatives in Đồng Tháp province in Mekong Delta. And secondly, in terms, I'm sorry. So secondly, in terms of communication on the social media, like our target audience was farmer, but like reaching this group within such a short time was kind of challenging. Like they just care about the real issue, the real life story. So we focus on sharing the experience of the farmers with the crop yield, with the pest, with the like agricultural news across the country. And also like because working right on the farm, so we can record a very like interesting sharing from the farmers about what is really going on with their issues, with their crop. So we can post on the social media. For example, in this video I put here is a funny story when the farmer share about the unfair pricing from the middleman. And right on that field, I see the farmers and the middleman, they fight each other on the bank of the rice field. The reason is because the middleman tried to push the price down and want to break the contract that they signed at the beginning of the season. So that's kind of video and sharing help us to get a very like inspiring content on the social media. So within 2 months, like we got nearly 1,000 like on the social media and over 1,000 like followers. And we try to maintain like 2 posts per week to update like all the things happening with our project. And next, driven by a very strong desire to close the agri-value chain that I shared on the very beginning day of WLA, I invited some of my friends to make a kind of interesting content. So I have a Zoom here. She is a business owner, and she is also the agricultural tourism guy. The other is Fong. He's very young. He's a high school student, a skill in using the modern technologies like drone for the crop spraying, and myself as a strong advocate for the microbial fertilizer. So together, like we get together to make it some kind of I hope that it's inspiring videos to inspire the young people to love the farming more and give them the new outlook of the modern agriculture in Vietnam. So it's very short video and I'm gonna turn it on. Okay, so hope that that kind of short video can give everyone like more kind of energy and more interest with like farming in Vietnam in particular in Asia in general. So next slide. Yeah, that is very like kind of beautiful story, beautiful photos capture our joy, happiness, and smile of our own team when we heard like our name was called to win the grant in Manila. But however, like just the very short time after that, like upon returning to Vietnam, like we faced a lot of challenges from um I'm sorry. from the internal communication issues to the human resources and how to operate our real project in reality. So to be honest, at that time I was overwhelmed and unsure of where to start with. All I have at that time was just like $750, right? And my wonderful sister are in another countries. Like they all have a full-time job needed to commit to. Paula has a family with 3 kids to take care of, while ASEAN, Lin, and Hin are experiencing the disconnectivity like in Myanmar. So so yeah, I'm kind of alone in Vietnam and sharing my challenges with Sonia, the Vice President of AGRIA, when she visited me in Ho Chi Minh City, and she advised me to try to build my own team instead of searching for one. So taking her advice, I openly shared my issues with the project with all of my friends from the north to the south, and surprisingly, like they all say yes. And I even invite some of them to join the meeting today, and hope you guys like somewhere else here. And ultimately, like we can gather the 5 amazing women came together for a very meaningful agricultural project in Vietnam, and all the energy, the contributions, and the enthusiastic of these 5 goals. We try to support each other and push the confidence significantly. So that's why we could complete the project beyond our expectation. And reflecting like on the journey that we have been to, the team has come to the key values in our we call values house that keep us this far. We mentioned here the responsibility, respect, and listening. So responsibility here means like we always take 100% of responsibility for what we commit to, even how challenging the situation is. When the agronomist say he want to quit the contract because we are so demanding, for example, when the farmer is lose the trust of us because they believe that we are too young to advise them anything, or or the second one is about the listening. Like each individual in our team has a different personality from the different background. And that's why like opening our heart and putting aside all the adjustment is very vital to build the team and to strengthen the team. And last but not least, it's about the respect. Um, the other contribution of everyone in our team like is recognized and valued regardless of the differences. And this one enable us to be able to create a inclusive environment where uh, women can empower women to develop further. So after all, like we strongly believe that 3 values, including responsibility, respect, and listening, like is not just important for our leadership, but also like for our growth in the future. So that is the end of our presentation today. And thank you so much for always like standing with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Ellen.
Yeah.
I'm going to again open the floor for any questions that anyone has from your team.
I have one question, Miss. So congratulations for your team project. It's so powerful, I think. So I'm from Indonesia and the second biggest agrarian country. In my experience, it's so hard to introduce new innovation in to old farmer because not all farmer uh, want to open new knowledge or innovation because they are still use traditional ways to farming. So my question is, so how your team handle this problem to still can successful your project?
Yes. Hi. Thanks, Aulia. I totally agree with what you're sharing. You know what? Like from the very beginning, like no one trusted can make any difference with that kind of paddy field because that is the very first time when they try to apply the organic farming method in their field, and they say that, oh, you are doing the crazy thing, like nobody care about you, or so that's the reason why like we need to work with them right on the field. We start with advising them online, kind of like we text them, we call them, like we talk with them, but nobody cares. So we need to go right on the field. And our agronomist, like actually we hired agronomist to work for us to advise the farmers. And he is not the local there as well. So this means that like we have no impact there. So we start with working with the local officer. Actually, he's not kind of the big leader, but he has the impact there as well. And then we try to persuade a very kind of a farmers that is that have the good reputation in that area. So we start on their field first, um, from the very beginning, at the beginning of the season, we advise them how to use the method, how to use the microbial fertilizer, and then we accompany with them like on the daily basis, on the weekly basis, and to update what is really going on. And you know what? Like on the day when we harvest that paddy field, like they even it's not kind of how to say we they put their bag of rice on the scale and to make sure that like they can get the same result as a like traditional the method. And then at that time, like I just hear them sound like back of my at my back because they get the result like better than the traditional method. So I mean, like we just can show them the result to persuade them because the farmer they just believe on what they see, right? So that's all the things we did there on the field. Mm. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Alia. Helen, I believe there are two other questions in chat. So
Oh,
one is around what are some of the hardest struggles when you were trying to implement your project, and how did the team handle that?
I think the hardest struggle is when our agronomist say he wanna quit. Because at the very beginning, when I work with him, actually I know him before, I persuade him about how meaningful the project is, how we can create the impact there. And he said, yes, I really want to join. But after that, like when advise the farmer and the farmer demand so much, they need the agronomist right on the field to advise them to be with them. And the agronomist need to travel 400 kilometers to meet them on the field. While our budget is very limited, right? So like after half of the month, he said to me that, hey, it's not enough, Helen. I cannot work for free. And he he honestly say that, okay, I want to quit. I don't want to work for anymore because like this job is very demanding. I have no energy for it anymore. So we decided to say bye. And after that, I think about like with that kind of budget, I cannot hire any kind of professional agronomist to work for me. So so what I did is I collaborate with my partner. Um, I have been work with them for 5 years, but on the business side, to be honest. And I asked them, hey, I have a deal. I want to work with you, with the both like the win-win situation. They help us to advise the farmer, but I also like help us to we also help them to promote their method on the social media. So that's the things I can get more resources for my team in Vietnam. Mhm. So I think that's the biggest one.
Thanks, Ellen. There's also another question, and we'll take this question and move on to the last group. This is what is the potential scalability of such initiatives?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. From
Hi.
Laos. I work with the Laos Women's Union. I'm so be glad to join today. This is my first time for to join the meeting about the food security in ASEAN country and Timor-Leste. This I'm so be glad to know everyone and congratulations with the order your team for the successful for the farming agriculture. But actually, I did not know more about the information about the agriculture in Laos or get the grant for the support the farming in Laos. And I did not prepare information today, but after I hear everyone presentation, I'm so interesting.
Thank you.
I have the question. If I interesting and I want to join the program, how can I start? And how can I get the grant from the support the Laos women, the women in my country? Thank you.
Helen, I can take that question if that's okay.
Yeah, please.
So YSEALI does a lot of programs to support the youth. The Women's Leadership Academy is one such program where they support women leaders across Southeast Asia, working under different themes and challenges. So for example, this year's challenge that we addressed was food security. So if you follow YSEALI on social media and you kind of just keep yourself updated on the number of programs and opportunities they have, you will be able to identify one that fits you and your needs better. Thank you. With that, also just keeping in mind the time, I'm going to move on to our last group.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Ellen and team. I'm going to let our last group share details about their project. They worked on understanding the challenges that climate change posed, and also how a lot of the people from the younger generation are disconnected and disengaged from agriculture, and women, especially the barriers that they face when it comes to participation, despite their significant contribution. So over to you, Team Wisdom to Sustainable Agriculture, to share more about the work that you did with the community.
Thank you, Sarah. Good evening, everyone. Sarah, will you like to show the screen, our presentation?
Yeah, I can do that. Just give me a second.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is so nice to see everyone here again. I'm April from Myanmar, and my team is here from Myanmar, Indonesia, and the Cambodia. Sorry, I cannot see the screen. Got it. So I'm so excited to share with you about our project, Wisdom to Sustainable Agriculture. So our project is a bit similar to the previous project. Yep, next slide. As we all know that our ASEAN's agriculture sectors are facing a lot of challenges like innovative and sustainable solutions that they need a lot of help. And also we found out that traditional farming method are struggles to adapt with the modern environmental challenges, especially the climate change pattern. And also they are also growing growing disengagement among the younger generations who are very crucial for the futures of agriculture and the food security. So if we are going to secure our food futures, it's really important to get those younger generations to get excited about the agriculture again. Yes, next slide. With that in mind, our project set up to develop the engaging social media content. So we created the comic and the infographic, kind of graphic in the social media platform, featuring the sustainable agriculture and food securities and the climate change through our social media platform. Yes, next slide. So our project's goal is to empower, to educate, and to build community within the younger generations in ASEAN country, and they can also show their experience about the food security, climate change, and they can also learn from one another, each other. So those are our project goals. Yes, next. So we came up with the two solutions. So our one project idea is the comet series because because our team has two generations. Myself is the millennials and the other team's member are the Gen Z. So most of the Gen Z, they are really interested in reading about the comet. So we are trying to we are going to implement with the comet series, and we also have the ideas to involve infographic and the visual graphic to communicate with the students and the university students who are potentially interested in agriculture and the farming. Yes, next slide. So we mainly use our platform, social media platform for Facebook and TikTok, while younger generation spend their time. So we launched our Let's Grow Facebook and TikTok page on 30th of June 2024, and we are mainly sharing the contents about the educating about the food security, the farming techniques, sustainability, and the climate change as well. Yes, next slide. So as suppose page engagements, so mostly are 65% are women and the 34% are men, and we have so half of the followers are aged between 18 to 45, and who are mostly the university students and the young professionals. So our geographic locations are mainly in Myanmar, followed by Cambodia and Thailand. Yes. But so as I mentioned before, this showcasing our work. So to attract the younger generation's attentions, we have the Comet series. We also share about the different sustainable techniques, and in here we have floating tomato farming in Upper Myanmar. So they have their fun on the water, and the floating farm. It's quite interested, and we are getting a lot of comments and inquiry through this post as well. And we also have the infographic, and so most of our infographics are easy to understand, and we are focusing on the food security and climate change. Yes, next slide. So I want to highlight our Comet series about the celebrating our Myanmar sister Comet series. This is about featuring the journey of Vietnamese who are working in the agriculture and sustainable agriculture. She is also creating the content and then sharing about the sustainable agriculture, unique farming method through social media platform. And also this comic is featuring her journey of agriculture and her inspiring work behind the agriculture. And also it's also kind of like very fun and engaging ways to share about her vision about her the sustainable future and her commitment to the sustainability. Yes, slide. So as the impact centers, we have a lot of awareness through our social media platform. So younger generations are really interested in the sustainable agriculture, and then we get a lot of comment and the private message from the younger generation, and the comic is very clear and it's very easy to understand. So that's why so when we launch our the comic series, we got a lot of comment from there as well. And within in just a few months, we have growing communities. We have over 830 followers in total right now. So mainly impact regions, it's in the Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Laos. Yes, next slide. Of course, we have the same challenges. It's a different time zone because one of our team member moved to the Europe, and we have different. We are in different time zone and the different locations, and we are have a different culture as well. So sometimes it is difficult to get everyone in, in the meeting, or it's kind of like that we are facing the same challenges as previous team member face. And we also have the language barriers. I mean, the team member mean not our team member, but also we also have our illustrator, the graphic designers, the content creator, the local community as well. So who are not speak English, they are mainly use their local language, and so it's make us sometimes difficult to communicate with them and understand their culture and the communication. So it is sometimes a bit leading to mis creation. The content is kind of like that we have faced, and we have the social media restrictions, especially in Myanmar. In the middle of July, so we have restriction in Facebook platform, and we cannot use the WhatsApp and Facebook, so we have to change and make it fixed with the VPN issues and everything. So, and also we are not targeting to the one countries. We are focusing on, at least 3-4 countries. So it is a bit difficult for us to boost the social media platform, the Facebook, and, it is also restricts our ability to reach the wider audience as well. So, and then like we are different background, but none of us have the strong digital marketing background. So it is a bit challenging for us to at the beginning. Yes, next slide. So from that, we have learned that the targeted social media strategy is really, really important. So we have to get the advice from the senior social media teams, and then we get the advice from them, and then we are more we learned that the TikTok and Facebook are the main communication platform to the younger generation, especially 18 to 45 years old, especially in Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos as well. And as I mentioned before, we have this cross-cultural communication as well. So like language barrier, time zone, and then it's also sometimes impacted the project implementations and timeline. And also, it has been like over 5 months. So we also understand, learned that the community building, it's really, really important for the long-term engagements to have the knowledge exchange and share the experience as well. And also, we have also faced that the flexibility and problem solving, it's one of the skill to implement this kind of the diverse with the team of the diverse background. So yeah, so we really need the flexibility, patience, and the problem solving skill as well. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this is our team. So we have 4 team member, the Mori from Cambodia, and Nanda and myself, April from Myanmar, and we have Sumani, she is from Indonesia. So we all have different background, and we are very diverse. We have different age. We live in different countries. We speak different language, but we all have the common missions, which is we all are working for the food security and for the sustainable agriculture. Yes. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So it was such an incredible journey implementing this project. Thank you. If you have any questions,
yeah, thank you, April. I'm going to open the floor if anyone has any questions to ask from you or the team.
Yeah. Many other platforms start to promote and encourage the use to try and integrate what made it just digital comic things and format. Nanda, would you like to answer that question? Hello, Nana, you there?
Hello. Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I'm closer.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give him their answer. Yes, because of most of the young people are now mostly using the for my experience, many youth are left to read their comic book in nowadays, and I realized that, and so I'm asked or some of my friend younger than friend, and which of them most background used to their comic, and also like if we can very easily to read the comic, we are more read it and share very easily. So we are choosing the Facebook and also like make the short video in the social media, especially in TikTok. Yeah, that's why we are choosing the comic format in this platform.
Thanks, Tanna. I believe there was also another question from Shafa. She raised her hand. Shafa, do you want to go ahead and ask your question?
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. I want to ask about April. You mentioned before that you promote your comics to Instagrams and Facebook, and maybe some people still didn't have a kind of interest in this agriculture things, and some of the comics they're still didn't aware about what other people post on the Instagram or Facebook, and how do you boost your maybe your marketing, how to boost your Instagram to promote the agriculture through the comic? Thank you.
I think Nanor can help the answer because she is the one who worked for the boosting the project. Yeah.
Yes. Firstly, we are not studying to boosting, just like release and update posting our page facts, because how we can be engaged, our posts are to the around the social media, and after that we are analyzing some kind of data, which country are the reach out our page, Myanmar or Cambodia, and also what kind of gender and also the age gap. After that, we analyze and okay, let's put with our page first, and also like the priority one of the which post, another is the which post. It is like consider the three things of which country we would like to be boost, and also so we choose that okay, social media among the ASEAN country, and especially Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and Indonesia, because we are the different because of our team member home country, and also another Southeast Asia country boosting. And then in the boost section, we can choose the age. So we choose the age between 16 and 45. So we want to separate, and we choose them like this.
Do you have kind of like a program, like maybe you making video animation to boost that agriculture program?
Sorry, pardon please.
Oh, okay. And maybe are you gonna like collaboration with the government or like external relation to help this project?
No, we just use our team members communication, but we for the interview of the corporate story, we have to find out what criteria of the story character we should need to find, and we discuss, and sister Ibra is working on this letter in Myanmar, so she is finding out for our comic character.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're at time, but I'm just going to take one more moment to ask if anyone has any closing questions that they want to ask this team or the teams that have presented before during the session. If there are no questions, we're going to close the session. Thank you so much for joining us today. One of our intentions with doing this session and also organizing a Women's Leadership Academy focused on food security was because we've seen that research has shown that when women are supported, it automatically improves food security globally. So with this academy and then also these projects, our intention is to keep feeding that narrative and to make sure that these conversations continue and women get not just a seat at the table, but also are represented across board everywhere where decisions are made. If you're more interested in learning more about this Women's Leadership Academy or about other opportunities that YSEALI has for youth, please feel free to follow them on social media. We will also be publishing a digital zine very soon, which captures stories at the intersection of gender and food security, which has been worked on by some of our other participants, part of the academy, to really share the narratives of women's experience within the ag sector and with food security in general. It was lovely to have all the project teams share their experience. Thank you for all the hard work and effort that you've put into doing these projects and also working so closely with the communities and identifying innovations that are sustainable and create long-term impact. Again, any questions that you have, please feel free to reach us out to us on social media. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have regarding this academy or future opportunities. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah and team.
Thank you,
Oh,
guys.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
everyone.